Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about something very important, boundaries in relationships. It's about recognizing your worth and understanding when it's time to let go. Never give your partner another chance if they did these three things. Trust is the bedrock of any strong relationship. It's something that takes time to build, but just a moment to shatter. When your partner disrespects your trust, it's not just a simple mistake. It's a signal that they're not valuing the foundation of your bond. You see, trust isn't something you can easily regain once it's been broken. It's like a fragile piece of glass that shatters into 1,000 pieces. No matter how much you try to glue it back together, it's never quite the same. If your partner has broken your trust, it's crucial to assess the situation carefully. Trust is not just about honesty, it's about consistency, integrity, and mutual respect. When someone consistently deceives you, lies to you, or hides things from you, that erosion of trust leaves a mark that can be very hard to heal. You might forgive once, twice, but after a while you begin to realize that forgiveness doesn't mean the issue is fixed. It only means you're giving them the chance to do it again, and that is a dangerous pattern. It's important to recognize that disrespecting your trust isn't always about grand betrayals. Sometimes it's the little things that build up promises that are broken, words that don't match actions, or the feeling that you're being left in the dark. These actions chip away at the security you once felt, and if left unchecked, they can cause irreparable harm to the relationship. It's not just about what happened, but how it made you feel. When trust is violated, it creates a deep sense of insecurity, doubt, and fear. You begin to question not only their words, but your own instincts. You might even begin to doubt your worth, wondering if you're just being overly sensitive or if you're the one overreacting. But remember, your intuition is a powerful tool. It tells you when something isn't right. A partner who disrespects your trust also disrespects you as an individual. When they choose to lie, hide things, or be dishonest, they are not just breaking an unspoken rule, they are showing a lack of regard for your feelings, your peace of mind, and your emotional well-being. They are, in essence, telling you that you are not worthy of honesty, that your feelings are secondary to their actions, that you are not worth the transparency that forms the core of any healthy relationship. It's not about punishing them for their mistakes, but recognizing that this pattern can undermine everything that makes your relationship special. Without trust, love is hollow. Without trust, there is no true connection. If they have shown you time and again that they cannot respect the trust you've placed in them, it's not a reflection of your worth, it's a reflection of their inability to show up for the relationship in a meaningful way. The moment you begin to question the foundation of your relationship, it's time to pause and really evaluate what's going on. If your partner continues to break your trust, the question becomes, are they truly committed to building something lasting with you, or are they taking advantage of your loyalty and love? The answer is often right in front of you, and it's important to recognize when enough is enough. Trust isn't just a nice thing to have, it's essential. Without it, everything else will eventually crumble. When your partner consistently ignores your needs, it's not just a small problem, it's a major red flag that something is out of alignment in the relationship. At the heart of every partnership should be a mutual understanding and a willingness to show up for each other, to support one another in both the good times and the challenging ones. Relationships are about balance, it's about give and take. But when your needs, whether emotional, physical, or psychological, are continually dismissed or disregarded, it speaks to a deeper issue that cannot be ignored. We all have different needs in a relationship, and that's perfectly normal. Some people need more affection, others need more space. Some need constant reassurance, while others thrive on independence. These needs are not to be seen as weaknesses or demands, but rather as part of who we are. When you are in a partnership, it's your responsibility to honor those needs to understand the person you love deeply enough to know what makes them feel valued, supported, and seen. But what happens when your partner consistently ignores those needs? It creates an emotional void. It leaves you feeling alone even when you're together. You begin to question your own worth. You wonder, am I asking for too much? Am I being unreasonable? But the truth is, you're not. It's natural to expect your partner to make an effort to meet you halfway. A relationship is built on compromise, but not to the point where your needs are always pushed aside to accommodate their comfort or convenience. If you feel like you're the only one giving, the only one trying, then the relationship is out of balance. One of the most painful things is when you bring up your needs to your partner and they don't take them seriously. Maybe they dismiss your feelings, brush off your concerns, or say things like, I don't have time for that right now, or you're overreacting. This isn't just a communication issue, it's a lack of respect. It's them telling you through their actions that what you need doesn't matter enough for them to invest in it. Over time, this erodes the foundation of trust and intimacy in the relationship. You begin to feel less connected, less important, more like an afterthought in their life. When your needs are ignored, you start to feel emotionally depleted. You begin to question whether the relationship is even worth continuing. You may even start to look outside the relationship for the support and connection that you aren't getting. It's human nature to seek validation, understanding, and emotional fulfillment. But when your partner refuses to provide that, it forces you into a place of emotional scarcity where you constantly feel like you're running on empty, trying to fill a hole that they're not helping to fill. Ignoring your needs also leads to resentment. It's hard not to feel bitter when you've been constantly giving and trying to meet your partner's needs only to be met with indifference or neglect. Over time, that bitterness builds up and starts to affect how you interact with each other. It can create an environment of frustration and emotional distance. Instead of love and warmth, you start to feel tension and dissatisfaction creeping in. If your partner consistently ignores your needs, it's time to take a step back and reflect on what this means for your future. You deserve to be with someone who sees you, who listens to you, and who values your needs as much as you value theirs. A relationship where one person's needs are consistently overlooked is not one that's sustainable or fulfilling. It's important to recognize when this pattern is happening and understand that it's a sign to reassess the health of the relationship. A loving partner will always make the effort to meet you where you are, to understand your needs, and to help you feel truly cared for. When your partner manipulates or controls you, it's a deeply troubling sign that the relationship has gone from a partnership of mutual respect to one of imbalance and emotional harm. True love is built on equality and respect, where both partners have the freedom to be themselves without fear of manipulation or control. But when someone you love tries to influence your decisions, emotions, or actions to suit their needs, whether directly or subtly, that's not love. That's manipulation. Manipulation can take many forms. It can be emotional blackmail, where they make you feel guilty for wanting something for yourself. It can be gaslighting, where they twist the truth to make you question your own perceptions and reality. It can be passive-aggressive behavior, where they avoid direct communication and instead use indirect methods to control how you feel or what you do. Regardless of the form, manipulation is designed to undermine your confidence, cloud your judgment, and keep you in a position of emotional vulnerability. One of the most dangerous things about manipulation is that it often starts subtly, making it hard to recognize at first. It might look like a small request, a harmless suggestion, or a gentle push in a direction they want you to go. Over time, these small manipulations accumulate until you find yourself making decisions that are no longer based on your own desires or needs, but on what your partner wants. You might even begin to question your own instincts, wondering if you're just being too sensitive or paranoid. The truth is, manipulation works because it erodes your self-esteem and self-worth without you realizing it. Control in a relationship goes hand in hand with manipulation. If your partner tries to control where you go, who you see, or what you do, it's a serious red flag. Healthy relationships are built on trust and autonomy. You should feel free to pursue your own passions, maintain your friendships, and make decisions for your life without fear of retribution or judgment. When your partner tries to limit your choices, whether through overt demands or subtle threats, they're not acting out of love, they're acting out of fear, insecurity, and a need to dominate. There's a psychological cost to this kind of behavior. You start to feel trapped, like you're walking on eggshells, always trying to avoid upsetting them or making the wrong choice. You second guess yourself, constantly questioning if your thoughts and actions are acceptable to them. This constant self-doubt takes a toll on your mental and emotional health. Instead of feeling loved and supported, you begin to feel like a prisoner of their emotions, always wondering how your choices will affect their mood or reaction. Moreover, a partner who manipulates or controls you is showing a profound lack of respect for your individuality. In a healthy relationship, both partners should celebrate each other's differences and give each other space to grow. When control and manipulation come into play, they're not only stifling your growth, but also diminishing the essence of who you are. They want you to be a reflection of their desires, not a full and free individual. This kind of behavior chips away at your sense of identity, leaving you feeling less and less like yourself with each passing day. When someone manipulates or controls you, it's essential to recognize that this is not a healthy dynamic. This is not the kind of love you deserve. You deserve to be in a relationship where your thoughts, feelings, and choices are valued, where you have the freedom to be yourself without fear of judgment or control. Betrayal of loyalty is one of the most painful wounds that can be inflicted in a relationship. Loyalty isn't just about staying physically faithful, it's about being there emotionally, mentally, and spiritually for your partner. It's about standing by them in times of joy and struggle, honoring your commitments, and showing them that they can always rely on you. Loyalty is the glue that holds a relationship together. When that loyalty is betrayed, the very foundation of the relationship is shaken and trust becomes nearly impossible to rebuild. Loyalty is more than just a promise. It's a continual act of showing up for your partner, regardless of the circumstances. It means being honest, respectful, and unwavering in your dedication to each other. However, when your partner betrays this loyalty, it leaves you questioning everything. You start to wonder whether the love they claimed to have was real or if it was all just a facade. When loyalty is violated, it creates a rift that's hard to bridge, especially when the betrayal feels intentional or hurtful. There are many ways loyalty can be betrayed in a relationship. It could be through infidelity, where physical or emotional boundaries are crossed and the trust you've placed in them is shattered. Infidelity isn't just about the act itself, it's about the dishonesty, the secrecy, and the disregard for the emotional bond you shared. It makes you question your value in their eyes, as if you weren't enough. And that feeling of inadequacy is incredibly difficult to shake. But betrayal of loyalty can also happen in less overt ways through emotional disloyalty, for example. If your partner is constantly confiding in others about your private matters, seeking validation or comfort from someone outside the relationship, it creates a sense of emotional distance. They may not have broken physical boundaries, but they've crossed the line when it comes to the emotional intimacy that should belong exclusively to the two of you. The damage of a betrayal extends far beyond the immediate shock or heartbreak. It seeps into every corner of the relationship, leaving doubt and mistrust lingering where once there was love and connection. You start to wonder if anything was ever real, if the promises made were ever truly meant to be kept. The emotional toll of betrayal is far-reaching. It causes deep wounds that make it hard to feel secure, not just with the person who betrayed you, but with anyone moving forward. Betrayal also creates a sense of imbalance in the relationship. You may feel that you've given your all, staying loyal and committed, only to have your efforts disregarded. You question whether your love was enough or whether you missed the signs that something was wrong. But the reality is, betrayal isn't your fault. It's a reflection of your partner's choices, not your own. Their actions reveal their lack of regard for the relationship and for your feelings. Loyalty is a two-way street, and when only one person is committed to it, it creates an unhealthy dynamic that cannot be sustained. When someone betrays your loyalty, it's essential to reflect on what this means for the future of the relationship. Can you truly move forward from the betrayal? Is trust possible again? Can the bond you once shared ever be restored? For some, forgiveness and healing are possible, but it requires both partners to be committed to rebuilding the trust and addressing the wounds caused by the betrayal. However, if the betrayal is consistent, or if your partner shows no remorse, it may be time to recognize that the relationship is no longer serving you in a healthy way. When your partner fails to support your dreams, it can feel like a deep emotional wound, one that strikes at the very heart of who you are and what you aspire to be. You are not just an individual in the relationship, you are a person with hopes and ambitions and a vision for the future. A partner who truly loves you will encourage you to reach your potential, will believe in your dreams, and will stand by you as you work toward those goals. But when they fail to support your dreams, whether through words, actions, or indifference, it sends a message that your aspirations don't matter. It undermines your sense of self-worth and makes you question if the person you love truly sees you for who you are. Support in a relationship goes beyond just cheering each other on in the big moments. It's about actively participating in your partner's journey, understanding their passion, and being there in both the triumphs and the struggles. It's about providing encouragement, offering help when needed, and being that steady hand to hold when things get tough. A partner who dismisses your dreams, criticizes your goals, or simply doesn't care about your ambitions is not showing love. Instead, they are sending a message that your dreams are not worthy of their time, energy, or support. This lack of support can manifest in many ways. It could be something as blatant as making fun of your goals, belittling your efforts, or not taking you seriously when you talk about your dreams. It could be more subtle. Perhaps they just never ask how your projects are going or show no interest in the things that matter most to you. Over time, this absence of support can erode your motivation and dampen your spirit. Instead of feeling inspired and excited to chase your dreams, you may feel discouraged, isolated, and unsure of yourself. One of the most painful things is when you have to choose between your dreams and your relationship. You might find yourself constantly compromising, putting aside your own goals to accommodate their needs or desires. You might start to feel like you're living in the shadow of someone else's life while your own aspirations fade into the background. A partner who fails to support your dreams is not only limiting your potential, but also encouraging you to neglect your own happiness and growth for the sake of the relationship. It can make you feel like you're constantly sacrificing your own future for a partnership that doesn't fully value who you are or what you hope to become. On the other hand, when you have a partner who genuinely supports your dreams, you feel a sense of strength and empowerment. Their belief in you propels you forward, and their support provides the confidence to face challenges head on. This is a person who will lift you up when things get tough, who will celebrate your victories, big or small, and who will stand beside you through every setback. They understand that your dreams are a reflection of your inner desires, your purpose, and your potential, and they want to see you thrive. The right partner will never make you feel like you have to choose between them and your dreams. Instead, they will cheer you on as you pursue what sets your soul on fire, knowing that your success is a shared success. If you are in a relationship where your dreams are not being supported, it's crucial to recognize the impact this has on your emotional and mental well-being. You deserve a partner who sees your potential, values your aspirations, and is willing to walk alongside you in the pursuit of your goals. You should never have to shrink yourself or abandon your dreams for the sake of someone else's comfort. A healthy relationship is one where both individuals are empowered to grow, evolve, and chase their dreams, knowing that their partner will always be there to provide unwavering support along the way. When your partner repeatedly takes you for granted, it speaks volumes about how much they truly value you in the relationship. It's easy to overlook the small things, the everyday efforts that make a relationship thrive. But when someone consistently fails to recognize the emotional investment, time, and energy you put into the relationship becomes a major problem. It's not just about forgotten anniversaries or missed gestures. It's about the deeper, more subtle ways in which they ignore your presence, your contributions, and your feelings. Taking someone for granted happens when one partner stops appreciating the other, when they become complacent and assume that the relationship will continue to work without effort. Over time, this lack of acknowledgement chips away at the emotional foundation that holds the relationship together. You start to feel unseen, unheard, and unimportant. The things you do, whether it's being there when they need support, making sacrifices for their happiness, or simply showing up every day with love, are no longer noticed or valued. It's as if your effort is expected, not appreciated, and this can cause an immense amount of emotional frustration and hurt. This kind of behavior often leads to feelings of resentment. You may give and give, but when your partner doesn't reciprocate or acknowledge your efforts, you start to feel like you're not getting anything in return. The balance of the relationship becomes skewed, and you find yourself giving without receiving. This creates an emotional imbalance where one person is continually giving while the other takes. Over time, this dynamic can make you feel drained, as though you're pouring into a relationship that's not replenishing you in return. The act of taking you for granted can also manifest in a lack of effort to maintain the connection. Maybe your partner stops doing the small, thoughtful things they once did to show their love, like planning a date, offering a kind word, or making an effort to understand your feelings. Instead, they fall into a routine of just getting by, assuming that the relationship will continue to thrive without much work. It becomes a relationship of convenience rather than one that's actively nurtured and cared for. And when this happens, it's easy to feel as though your worth is being minimized, like your partner thinks that the relationship will just maintain itself, regardless of their actions. When someone takes you for granted, it doesn't only affect the way you feel in the relationship, it affects how you feel about yourself. If your partner doesn't value your efforts, you might begin to question your own worth, wondering if you're doing enough or if you're even worthy of their appreciation. Over time, this kind of neglect can lead to feelings of insecurity and doubt. You might even start to wonder if your partner truly loves you or if they simply see you as a fixture in their life, someone who will always be there without the need for effort or attention. But here's the truth. You deserve more than to be taken for granted. You deserve a partner who sees the value in your love and your contributions, who doesn't just assume you'll always be there, but actively works to keep the connection strong. You deserve someone who appreciates your efforts, acknowledges your sacrifices, and makes you feel seen and heard. When you stop being taken for granted, you begin to understand the importance of mutual effort in a relationship. You start to realize that a relationship thrives on both partners nurturing each other, recognizing the work that goes into maintaining the bond, and never taking each other's presence for granted. If you find yourself in a relationship where you are constantly taken for granted, it's essential to assess whether this is a relationship that can evolve or if it's one that will continue to drain you emotionally. Love should never feel one-sided. You are worthy of a partner who values you, who recognizes your worth, and who cherishes everything you bring to the relationship. Never forget that you deserve to feel appreciated and loved in the same way that you give love and appreciation. Remember, you deserve someone who values you, respects you, and lifts you up. Don't let anyone take you for granted. Stand firm in your worth. Keep your head high, your heart strong, and trust that the best is yet to come.